This is the Jets Drive of the Game, presented by Tri-Honda Dealers. All right, let's bring in our Jets beat writer for the Post, Brian Costello, so we can talk about the drive of the game. Kaz, let me set the scene for us. Tied up at 25. It's at the end of the fourth. Jets offense goes 70 yards in 7 plays to take a 32-25 lead. Incomplete, and then a huge 23-yard pass to Davante Adams on 3rd and 10 to get the thing moving. What'd you see in the drive, Kaz?
Yeah, Brandon, I mean, look, we've seen the Jets in this situation so many times this season, especially the last few weeks where they had a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter and they couldn't do it, whether it was offense or defense. This one, they come through, and it was really the Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams show. They were doing it all in the fourth quarter. Like you said, they get to 3rd and 10, they're at their own 30, and Rodgers puts it up along the sideline, and Davante makes an incredible catch where he's leaning out of bounds, keeps his feet in. And, that was really the play of the drive where you're watching it. I thought they might be reviewed. It wasn't even reviewed because his feet were in. Then, they go to 2 more plays. It gets to 3rd and 5. And Rodgers doing what he's been doing lately of kind of moving around the pocket and keeping a play alive. He's showing he has more mobility than he did earlier in the season. Keeps the play alive, and all of a sudden Davante Adams is wide open to his left, a little bit, inside the sideline, throws it to him, and Adams runs, 41 yards down to the 1 to set up the game-winning score.
Let's talk about that 3rd and 10 catch, because young receivers at home, that's what we call teach tape. At first, when you're watching the highlights, guys, you can see them kind of play ball together. They've had a lot of football together. I don't know if he signaled something out to them, but they knew they were on the same page. They had a single high safety, cover 1 look, man-to-man. One thing I think that Davante Adams did at a Hall of Fame type level was what we call hold the line. He didn't let the defense, the DB, kind of push him to not have the real estate for Aaron Rodgers to drop that ball in over the shoulder. I used to see Amani Toomer make those catches effortlessly in practice. My time with the Giants, Davante Adams did it. The huge play to put them in position. And then that 3rd and 5 you're talking about from Jacksonville's 42, they did it again. 41 yards on the pitch and catch. If I'm Davante Adams, I'm just upset that I got tackled at the 1-yard line. Had a chance for another touchdown. So now we're talking 1st and goal. Cause minute 5 left. Breece Hall scores for the go-ahead touchdown run up the middle. A lot of people feel like Jeff Ulbrich left too much time on the clock there. How do you feel about that decision to score so fast and not burn up Jacksonville's 2 timeouts?
Yeah, I think it was the wrong decision. He got away with it, obviously, because Mac Jones threw the interception after that. But to me, you take some knees. You get them to use their last 2 timeouts. You could run the clock down to 15 seconds, kick the field goal, and win the game, and leave them with 10 seconds on the clock to try to do something, with Mac Jones at quarterback. So he got away with it. It's funny because Davante, after the game, said as he's running down the field for that 41-yard gain, he was thinking in his head, am I supposed to go down or am I supposed to score here? Because, Brandon, they show every Friday the coach does a presentation on different game management situations around the league. And remember in Miami, Davante went out of bounds before the field goal and got criticized for that because there was time left on the clock and the Dolphins ended up tying the game and winning the game. So Davante was thinking about it. So he got away with it. Ulbrich said he wanted to be aggressive, but it was pretty dangerous to leave the Jaguars that much time on the clock.
When you say things like he wanted to be aggressive, do you think he was put in a position where he had to because Anders Carlson missed a field goal earlier?
I don't think so. I mean, that was a 48-yard field goal. It's the first one Carlson's missed all season. This would have been a 19-yard field goal, right? Or maybe 20 if they're taking 20-21 if they're taking a couple of knees and they lose a couple of yards, but they're at the 1. So I think they have confidence in him making that field goal. If you want to be a Jets, believe in doom and gloom curses, maybe you're worried about a block there or something, like that kind of thing. But I think if you're looking at it from an analytics perspective, which all of these decisions are now kind of looked at in that way, the way to probably increase your odds of winning that game is to run the clock out and not give them much time. But look, it worked out for them. They got a win. They got away with it, so he's not going to get too much criticism for that.
Lastly, do you feel as though this offense is hitting its stride at the wrong time of the season? There's just a little too late.
Look, I'm torn on the offense. Like I thought they played pretty well in Miami. This one I did not think was as impressive as Miami because the first half was terrible. Right? They only had 3 drives offensively because the defense couldn't get off the field, but they really didn't do anything. And then the second half, it really was a Davante Adams show. It wasn't like they did this. They were great offensively across the board where they were, running the ball and throwing the ball. Aaron Rodgers was their leading rusher, so that tells you the rushing game wasn't very good. And Ashton Davis had 21 rushing yards on the fake punt. So I wasn't blown away by this offense yesterday, especially when you consider the Jaguars have the worst ranked defense in the NFL. But they did some good things in Miami. I think we're going to find out, Brandon, now, against the Rams and against the Bills the next 2 weeks, 2 first-place teams, better teams, where they are. But, yeah, it's not like it really matters at this point, right? They got 4 wins. They're not going anywhere. So I think if the offense does look good in the next few weeks, it's just going to frustrate Jets fans even more.
It's like Aaron Rodgers playing his best football at the time where his Netflix documentary comes out. So maybe he's doing a little
emotional.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's healthier. Like clearly, if you look back, he wasn't healthy after that Denver game for a while. He had hamstring, knee injury, ankle injury. I think the hamstring really bothered him deep into the end of October probably. So he's moving much better than he was moving earlier in the year. Ran for 45 yards Sunday, and really is even beyond the running yards. He's extending plays in the pocket and moving outside the pocket to extend plays. So Rodgers clearly feels better.
Mondays always better after a victory, and that's your Jets drive of the game. Thanks, Cos, for joining us.
Thank you.